right, you get to see me start to finish, except for measuring the oils. Those are already pre-weighed, and I've got everything set out so I actually look half organized. All the liquid oils are in here, and this one is the coconut oil. It's in there because you need to actually warm it up just a little bit to be able to mix it in with the other oils. Otherwise you get little clumpies, and that's not good. This stuff here is the lye mixture. So what I actually did was put goat's milk instead of the regular distilled water, and that's a substitution that a person can make, and it adds for a extra creamy feel good on your skin kind of. So other things here is activated charcoal. So this bar is going to have activated charcoal in it, just a very small amount, half teaspoon. And then also turmeric is going to go into this, so also half a teaspoon of that. And the batter, once it's done, it's going to get separated in half, and charcoal in one, turmeric in the other, and then I'm going to probably do a swirly kind of a mixture in each of these here. This here is, I made a rosemary fragrance. I hope there's enough fragrance for both bars of soap. It's pretty strong, but we'll see. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, maybe I'll just use it for one of the bars. Okay, so everything's been weighed out. I used the digital scale. The oils that we have in here, I might have to correct myself afterwards. There is coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, grapeseed oil, and avocado oil. Oh, and a little bit of canola oil, believe it or not. So those are great oils for lather, for the creaminess on your skin. Coconut oil is good for the cleansing purposes and to make a nice harder bar. Okay, I went and grabbed another container to put the batter in whenever I separate it. Okay, now I hope you can see here. I might move my camera over so you can watch what I'm doing. You don't need to see me directly, so let's do that. So I went and grabbed some lavender oil and put it in here. And I've learned that lavender is one of the scents that really holds in your soap, and rosemary and mint. Tea tree oil is another one, but I don't have any, so we are going with these 3 scents, and it is popular in the charcoal and turmeric, well, even just the charcoal bars. Okay, next thing we'll add is the lye solution. And this yellow color is perfectly fine. What I did was freeze the goat's milk ahead of time. And when I added it, so I put the goat's milk in the jar in kind of chunks. Some people will make it into cubes, I just did chunks. And then I added the lye crystals on top. And because lye, its chemical reaction makes things very, very, very hot. Having frozen milk makes it stay a lot cooler and cool down a lot faster. I'm gonna add this in. And you wanna keep your stick blender down low just to keep the bubbles out. So you can see how it's changing. Now that's the lye solution reacting with the different oils. And I'll keep mixing. And what we're looking for is a certain amount of trace. So what trace is when you can see the batter thicken. You know, ideal trace for pouring, you want to be able to see like a little bit of a drizzle on the top. But because I'm splitting this up and adding in the charcoal and the turmeric, which increases the saponification process. So the saponification happens when you mix the lye with the oils, and over time that's what creates the soap. So the lye actually disappears from the batter and it turns into soap. I grabbed another bowl because this certainly isn't going to be big enough for what I was hoping for when I split the batter. All right, so I'm gonna just divvy these in half. Doesn't have to be exactly in half, but just kind of roughly. There we go. It looks kind of half to me. And we still don't want to handle the batter with our hands because the lye is still caustic in there. So I probably should be using gloves right now, but I'll just keep my fingies away. All right, now I'm gonna add the turmeric to one and the activated charcoal to the other. Just have to see by the color on my fingers that a little bit goes a long ways. So that's why we don't use a whole lot in here. I'm just kind of guesstimating. This is the same stuff that people will use in their toothpaste to make their teeth white. But please don't eat the soap. So now I'll just mix up a little bit here to try and disperse it just a little bit, and then I'll go at it with the stick blender here in just a minute. Because if I went and put the stick blender on the top, I learned this not too long ago with the mica powders, like the coloring powders, that if you go right at it with the stick blender right away, everything kind of like fluffs up. And I'm pretty sure I don't want turmeric fluffing up in my face. So, okay, so here's a bit of a closer process. Look at me with my words. Here is a little bit of a closer view so you can get a closer look at the process. All right, I think that powder is in there enough that it's not gonna fly up in my face, and we're gonna hit them both with the stick blender. So let's get at it. And then you'll see the color change. That down at the bottom. You know, I may add a little more to the turmeric too, just because I'm doing a double batch. And a single batch was only calling for a 1/4 teaspoon, but I don't know. This is, I think I can go for a little bit more. It's not going to hurt your skin. It actually has some nice anti-oxidizing properties. Words are hard for me sometimes, so don't judge. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit more. Woo! See? Now that is why you detach. Okay, so I'm just gonna go rinse off my hand here because this probably won't feel very good on me. Be right back. So I could feel the smoothness on my fingers already from the lye and the soap. So, and you can see that I'm using silicone for everything. You don't want to use anything but silicone for utensils, just because it won't react with the silicone, the products that you're using. Stainless steel bowls, perfectly fine. And I suppose, you know, if you had stainless steel utensils, it would be fine, but you get the scraping action, some good scraping action with these here. All right, back to spinning. So if you tip it a little bit this way, release any bubbles that might be under the stick blender whenever you first put it in. And then kind of keep it low, below the surface. Scraping on the side. Can't see from there maybe, but there is some turmeric going up the side. We want all of that in there. I want it blended nicely. So remember earlier I was talking about trace? So this is kind of an example right here. See how it's thicker? So this is still good for pouring, but if you want to do some texture or what have you, you want a trace that has more of a drizzle that sticks on the top. You'll know what I mean after I pour, but I want this to be able to pour nicely and before it starts to set up. Okay, we're good with this one. Taking this off because I don't want another whoops. Okay. Some sound effects. Sorry guys. You get to hear what's going on in my head. Yes. Some people like making it super dark. Okay, I got it on my hands again. Dang it. I'll be back. Anybody was about to tell me to get my gloves on already? I got my gloves on already. I'm just using regular dishwashing gloves, perfectly fine. They will attach. I think I'm gonna add even just a little bit more. So I'm gonna have to make sure I adjust my recipe or my notes on my recipe. Okay, you're gonna go there. You're gonna go here, and I'm gonna do another half teaspoon, and that should make it nice and dark. And the contrast between the two colors should be pretty beautiful. When the turmeric dries, you get kind of a pale orange. It's not as bright. And again, if you want bright, be prepared to have your skin dyed. So we do not want to dye your skin. So we are not going to add a whole lot of turmeric, even though it'll look super pretty. Okay, the little swirly swirls, so I'm not breathing in charcoal when it fluffs up. Oh, I gotta stop saying that. Okay. It's all right. Maybe a little bit used to it. I'm pretty happy with this one. That's a good color. Good color. Okay. Next step is to pour into the soap molds. I'm going to add this into here to pour. Give it a little slam. And now we're going to drizzle the orange across the top. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this. Let me make it nice and pretty. Oh, crap. I almost said another word, but I didn't. Okay. Gonna hit pause. Clean up my edges a little bit. Actually, there we go. All done. Edges are clean. All right, now I'm gonna pause and, yeah. Oh, they're slimy. Okay, gotta take them off to get out my watch. To get back again, got my skewer. This one here, I'm using it because we opened up a tube of silicone with it and I didn't really want to use it to eat with again. It's stuck on there pretty good, but it's not going to do nothing to my soap. So this is what we're using. And first thing I'm going to do is just nice and simple swirls. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit of a slap down a little bit again. And I'm gonna go like that, all the way through, all the way through. And same over here. Wipe this off, because I'm going to hold that end now. Remember, there's still lye that can burn your skin in this soap batter. And we'll take the other end, and we're going to go around the edge and around, and then through the middle and back, and then just kind of a funky little design. Swirl this one a little bit more to see if I can get more black come out through the top, although you will see it. Good enough. All right, that's it. That's it. Now we just let it sit. I'm not going to texture the top because I kind of like the swirls, and I was going for a flatter bar because I'm going to make them thicker because they're shorter. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will come back for another video for the cut.